W4ARW, and it's time for, what is this? July. Of course. Fireworks, field day was a little while back. How could I forget? Time for the July QST review. And sorry, I've been kind of slacking on the videos here. And of course, I do want to say, I had no idea my field day video was going to be such a hit with you guys. Next year, I will make sure to do a much better video. I was just planning to throw something up there, and turns out it was my most popular video. So we'll make sure to take care of the footage problem next year and make a much better video with a lot more footage. So before we start off, I am going to get my papers out of the way. My worked all states chart, I lazily left it in the background. So let me clear that out of the way, and we'll get on to the review. Alright, time for the QST review. But first, I want to give you guys a heads up. I'm going to be making a video on what this is. This is a QRP antenna tuner kit by SaneSmart. A couple other companies make them, and they're basically all the same. The reviews are bad. They've only got like a 3-star review, and that is because everybody downrates them because they do not come with a manual. I have the Chinese, not that anyone's going to want the Chinese, but I have the Chinese and English instructions and schematics, and so I'm doing a how-to video on that, and I'll try and include those instructions so you can see how to do this. This tunes 15 watts continuous, 15 watts, I think it does 15 watts CW and SSB, and it will tune, what I remember is 16 to 600 ohms. I'm not sure if that's right, but that sounds about correct. Maybe it was only 16 to 300, but nice little range, handles 15 watts. So that was a heads up. We're going to be doing that video soon. We've already started it, but we'll get it finished and put on here shortly. So on to the main course, if you will. The July QST cover shows SN0HQ last year during the IARU HF Championship operating. And we're going to start with page, whatever this is, 2nd Century. Myth busting, ARRL not a big radio club. Some certain people were saying that it is, and he was saying that it's not. Very good article, sort of a debate, but talking about mainly how the finances are not run like a radio club, it's run like a volunteer organization. And he mentions that people here are not making a living. Obviously, they're keeping the company going and stuff, but it's more of a volunteer service than a big company. And then member spotlight is Jeremy Hong, KD8 Tango Uniform Oscar, and he runs a small electronics and repair business, if you will, and he has an online website. Let me find it here. There it is. It's not focusing, but jhongelectronics.com, and he also sells some electronic based shirts. Next up, we are going to jump a little bit farther to page 34 and talk about the Raspberry Pi alternative for WSJTX. I really enjoyed reading this because it talks about something that I have, a Raspberry Pi, and using it as digital. Now mine is very awkward. I use mine with a VGA monitor because that was the only monitor I had, and as a result the sound doesn't come through, so I'm kind of iffy about the sound base of this particular Raspberry Pi I have. But this talks about what you need to do to get set up for that, and tells you what you need in a nice little format, and it goes into detail on each thing, and then it will go through your steps of assembly. So similar to the Raspberry Pi article I mentioned a little while back, same concept there. Next we've got a great article by the editor himself, troubleshooting your RF Mayhem with your external speaker system for your television. And here's a little graph. I'll take a picture of this and post it right here. Bing! So yes, this is a good article, and it covers everything step by step what you need to do in order to complete the interference. I can't think of a word to go there. The wrapping up, the interference. So good article. We don't have any of this kind of problem. We don't have any television or extensive amplifier system or anything in the house here. So the only thing that I've ever interfered with so far is the noise machine in the girls' bedroom. So nothing too terribly annoying, but I suppose when I'm operating. But we've sort of figured out the problem. It was actually one particular antenna on one particular band at evening is the only time I did it, so I just refrained from using that antenna on that band. And the band was 15 meters, so I'm not too disappointed. I don't usually try and use 15 meters at 8 o'clock anyway. Alright, next up. Oh, too far. Hands-on radio. Love this column, and this one was probably my favorite ever by Ward Silver. Switching amplifiers. He goes through every class and defines each class. Class A, B, Class A and Class B, Class C, Class D, Class E, Class F, and outclassed. Whew! Yes, it's a great article, and it explains it all very well. So I know much more about amplifiers than I did before July. Next up, microwave lengths. Paul Wade tells us how to do the microwave bands without a wheelbarrow of money. The answer is A, borrow something somebody else has, or B, use a cartload of money. No, I'm kidding, he doesn't really say that. But he just talks about where you can get some short stuff and cheap stuff and quick ways to borrow equipment, etc., without having to dump a lot of money, and still just see if you want to invest. It's not really getting set up with a whole station, it's more just a little preview, how to find out if you want to make the investment without spending a bunch of money on the sample version, if you will. Then the hints and kinks was real good. I liked all of them. This one was real cool. Your iPhone, whatever you have, your camera, your digital camera on your Apple device, and probably your Samsung, whatever you have, can see infrared light. So to test if your remote's working, what he did is he took 2 simultaneous pictures while pressing the button, and you can't really tell. Oh yeah, you can see it. Those 2 purple dots are where the infrared LEDs are that send the signal. So here's before he pushed it, and here's when he pushed it. And that was really cool. Also, someone uses a conduit pipe for their hiking, and he made a little BNC stand for it, and just took a hose clamp and put it on his conduit pipe and kind of gives it a counterpoise. He said it works. Let me see where the test was. He said 1.4 to 1 SWR. An on-the-air test with 2 repeaters about 15 miles away showed an S5 on the display of my ICOM with the rubber duck, and an S9 using this wilderness antenna. And he said he was not able to accurately test how much better he got into the repeater. This was very cool. Some of the radio amateurs that were doing the Route 66 adventures used the antenna as a bridge, and who knows, you might have worked them. I didn't. I wasn't on the air at that time, but this was really fun. They did a lot of work on easy NEC and testing with some tuners and such, and they were finally able to tune the bridge for 20 meters. And they made some contacts. Let's see. They made 144 contacts from the bridge antenna, so not bad. This was why you operate remote radio, or why it's why I operate remote radio. I don't, but that's what the article's called. And Gene Hinkle, Kilo 5 Papa Alpha, gives 5 reasons, and here's a quick overview of why he has, and why he does operate remote radio. So, main reason is you can hear more on the HF nets, and second reason is because all 3 of these have potential to become an HF radio now instead of just that. Also, if he's having bad weather conditions, he can still use the radio. He can find out in real time what his true signal is on certain points of the world. So those are 4 of the reasons that he gave. And next up, satellite roving in the Northwest Territories. This younger ham Gabriel Zifman. I'll give his United States call as NJ7H, and he drove up through Canada, and you can see sort of his route here, making a bunch of satellite contacts, activating grid squares all across, and that was pretty cool. He stopped and saw the Northern Lights there, and real fun article to read. Goes into a little bit of depth about what he did, tells his story about it, and that was pretty cool. Next up we have page 82, the contest corral. Of course, the IARU HF World Championship. I was hoping to have this video done before that happened, but we were delayed, so here it is. I did operate. I made some 100-something contacts, not even 130 contacts, but I was operating on Saturday on 20-meter phone only, and I think my total claim score was like 1769 or something. I'll see. I sent my thing in. Actually, it's sitting out in the mailbox right now, so I do it the old-fashioned way. So we'll see. If we even make it in the magazine, then we'll get to see what our total score was. And next up, page 88, is the 2017 January VHF contest results. I'm not going to go into detail, but I did want to show you a couple of the rover setups. This station was not even a rover, actually. He drove, parked, and set up and operated from that grid the entire time right there. Here's another rover setup. And another rover setup. Yeah, my rover setup is a diamond vertical. And a whip for my HT. I don't think I'm going to be in the rover category anytime soon. Okay, also, coming up soon, look for a possible Baker Island D expedition. Coming to us from Bernie McClinney, the House DX column writer. Also in August, look for the ARRL Rookie Roundup. Quick overview on the rules. You count as a rookie if you were first licensed in 2015, 16, or 17, or you were licensed before then but have not made your first contact on any of the modes before then. So if you've, like me, I have not made any Morse code contacts yet. I probably will before I'm not considered a rookie anymore, but say I don't make any Morse code contacts for 5 years and I finally learn Morse code, I can still enter as a rookie since I've never made contacts on that mode. But I can't enter in the phone mode because I would have already made contacts that way. Rookies can call rookies or non-rookies, and non-rookies can only call rookies. And that's going to be on Sunday, August 20th. World above 50 megahertz, talking about the 60-meter contest 50th anniversary, and of course, the quick stats. Will you be participating in the IARU HF World Championship July 8th and 9th? I was hoping to do this video before the contest, but I clearly didn't, so too bad. Anyway, most people, 69% of the people that entered, said no. Will you be on the air while vacationing this summer? Most of the people said yes at 43%. Do you plan to do any portable operating during the next few months? Most people said yes at 60%. What is your favorite antenna for HF portable operating? Most people said I don't operate HF portable at 30%. There were a lot of entries though, so it was kind of spread thin. My answers, since I didn't vote in this one, I'll just give them real fast. Yes, I'll be operating. Yes, I'll be operating. Yes, and vertical. So, yeah, very optimistic. Okay, thank you very much for watching this video. We will catch you very soon, and next month for the August QST review, unless for some reason it gets exploded in a big ball of flame or something. And well, so much for next month's QST. But really though, thanks for watching, and make sure to come back for our next review. 73s and God bless until next time. This is W4ARWQRT.